talk about our old clubs. Sykesy wearing his Ayr shorts, so let's start there then.
I'm dual code. I've gone for Ayrshire and Woodbridge. Woodbridge was the one. Oh, I hate this. I'm awful in front of the camera.
Keep that in.
We're live. It's a live stream.
Can't go back in it now. There's no take two. I'm leaving in 10 minutes.
Just pretend you're punting sweets.
Oh,
Right, let's start with Chugga. Everyone knows Chugga comes to
right.
Jed. Come on. Let's hear about the mighty Jed, firstly.
So I'll just be wearing one set of socks. Jed Forest Rugby Football Club. Was born there. Grew up there until I was 18.
Riverside.
born in Riverside.
On the Riverside.
So just played there from when I was 7 at Jed Minis and came through the age groups there, and then played for the Thistle, and then before I signed for Newcastle, I played for the men's for a year, and that was unbelievable. Like some characters, some absolute characters, and when I was growing up. Obviously, I was like a ball boy in that for the local team. And then when I started actually playing for the men, there was still some of the boys playing, like Ross Goody and that. They were still playing for the team when I actually played for the men, so that year that I played for them. So it was good, like looking up to them. And then they're just legends.
A strong start.
Not many stories.
It's hard to beat that one. Gilly?
Well, I'm at Alloa till I die. Always been my home club, where I started playing rugby, where my family have got deep roots. My granddad played there firstly, and then my dad's, my uncles all played there. We used to go down on a Saturday, watch my old man play. My granddad used to run touch. He was a past president as well. So the best thing about Alloa Rugby Club is the people, like Chugga's mentioned it there, but we never won that many games. I think they actually went on and won the bowl at Murrayfield a long time after me, which was class for the club. But first and foremost, great people, brilliant nights out, and you're never without a smile. I'll go back a few years, which we used to take a few boys back to the club dinner. So like me and Sean Kennedy, when he was here, we were both Alloa, and we used to invite like a few of the boys. Do you want to go back to like a rugby club dinner? So we took Brett Thompson, who was the winger, American guy. So we took him to Alloa, eyes open, and then Jimmy Hilterbrand. And one of the old boys, we came into the dinner, and one of the old boys straight off the bat was like, good result last night, but who the hell was that hooker you had playing? Couldn't hit a barn door. He's like saying to me, and Jimmy's like, that was me, mate. He was like, what I tell you, your face, mate, your throwing was terrible. Couldn't get a game for our first throw like that. That sums it up, but keeping you grounded, but they absolutely love being part of the journey, and so many people there that I've got so much time for.
Totally.
There you go.
Yeah, so my journey started at Woodbridge was, I want to say, about under 11s. Was quite big, tried to play football, wasn't very good at football, evidently, as you lot have seen. And then my old man was like, why don't you give this a go? He started coaching with my minis team. Wasn't that good to start with, scored a try on my own try line. But since then, stuck with it there. They were brilliant. I started training the men's from sort of under 15s onwards. They were tough on me, but at the same time, like real good crack with me. And then, obviously moving up to Scotland, my second team that you'll see sort of coming into it is Ayr. They took me straight out of sort of school, which is brilliant. The first year, I think we did the double, it was the last year of the Prem or something like that. I think we had a game against you where it was, the lights were off, and apparently we won it, but I think you boys scored in the...
We did score.
They didn't score. The lights were off so the ref couldn't see it, so that was brilliant.
Like Melbury, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Tactically
It's a great place, lovely pitch, renowned for its pitch. But so that was me, sort of Ayr for a couple of years, and then came through here.
Best thing about Melbury is the bus trips back to Stirling.
I'd be the opposite. It'd be Edinburgh and back.
Last,
James.
Myself. So I played a lot of Stewmill minis growing up. Played through the school there, and then I went and played for Stewmill Club when I left school.
It's probably one of my favourite years of rugby. It was just really, really fun, on and off the pitch. Real good bunch of boys. Talk about bus trips. Had a load of really good bus trips, and it was just like a great year of first senior rugby. And I'm lucky enough now to get to go down and coach, down there on Tuesdays and Thursday nights down at Inverleith, and there's still quite a few of the boys that I played with back then that are playing, so they can give me a bit of heat as well when I'm coaching them. Because I'll tell them to do things and they'll say, "You've absolutely never done that your whole career." And then I was a turncoat. I moved to the dark side, went over to Myers side and joined Watsonians, which was brilliant for me as a rugby player. It was a really great level of rugby. The guys at the club were really, really good. The coaching staff and everyone around the club was awesome as well. So I love my time at Sonians, and I always like to go back, quite like you boys, when you get the chance, and see all the familiar faces around the club and everyone there.
Nice. Solid.
Any highlights, boys, playing wise for your teams or anything, or skate wise?
For Alloa, my highlight would definitely be I played with my old man. So I think maybe 16, 17. And I wasn't big enough to play at lock in those days, but it was clearly going to be a lock. But I played at 6 and my old man played at 8, so that was pretty cool. Kept me under his wing, and yeah, that's one of my main memories that season. I was, like I said, a young lad, but playing men's rugby when you're a young lad really prepared you. So then I moved to county the year after, but getting to play rugby before I then played under 18s, and then county were brilliant for my development as well. They're my two clubs. Alloa is where I grew up. It's my home team, my home club, but I've got so much love for county as well, because I kind of went there at 17, won the Scottish Scottish Club Cup out there, had a brilliant year, went the whole year unbeaten, and then played a couple of years in the first. Before I had my chance with Edinburgh. We got relegated, but we got relegated after winning away at Mansfield, which was a real kick in the stains, because we won down at Mansfield and we were
Tough place to go.
absolutely buzzing.
Tough place to go.
Come off buzzing, the results hadn't gone our way, lads, you're down. Oh well, but we bounced back. Prem 2 the next year, I was down at Riverside actually. We went the year.
You wouldn't get the win at Riverside.
It was a good bus trip.
There's a memory. A win at Riverside.
It's a tough place. We also got relegated the year that I played.
I only got us here.
The thing with Jed is obviously the 15s is important, but I take the 7s really serious. The Kings of the 7s circuit. So once the 15s is finished, you have all the 7 circuits round about the borders, Melrose 7s. Arslan 7s and Jed 7s and all that. Some good nights, but that was my last game I played for Jed. We won Jed 7, so it was the last tournament. It's the last tournament on the circuit, and we'd had a bit of a crap year, obviously. And then we went on to win that in front of our home crowd, and it was some night, unbelievable. It's still honestly one of my best rugby highlights. Even today, I'd probably say it was winning that, just because the 7s are so massive down there, and I love it. It was class.
Thanks, Hodgie. Think back to my first ever game of senior rugby. I was 17, 18, still in school, and I was playing for Strumel 2s. We went away to play GHA through in Glasgow, and some old boy spent 80 minutes running around telling me how he was going to fill me in the whole time. So that was pretty good introduction into men's rugby. And then just that year at Strumel was just great fun. There was loads of good time in the clubhouse. I think it was one of the ones off the pitch, and a lot of boys at Strumel at Inverleith, Joe will tell you, when you get introduced into the club, you do your Strumel cocktail, which is red, black and gold. So they hang you upside down on the rafters and you do your Strumel cocktail upside down. So it's a good tradition at the club, and everyone gets involved. So yeah, it was a good one. In terms of Sonians, I think the first year we had of Super 6 on a rugby level was class, in terms of that we were I think we went unbeaten or something like that the whole season. Some of the rugby we played was really good. And I got to take to the pitch with Connor Boyle every weekend, so it was an absolute pleasure.
Batman, that's a rival at Rugby.
I love how it's just turned into like,
It's like,
oh, what's your
He's got
favourite?
plenty of hard stuff.
That's the best thing about playing at that level is like at this level and that you have to take your recovery seriously and you have to obviously be professional for them, but at that level it's like win or lose every week you're
It's just fun, isn't it?
out with the lads and you know that's where you make the best bonds.
I think every club has its characters, and there's definitely individuals there that the club wouldn't be able to run without. I know when I spent my time with Watsonians, a guy, Chris Hunter, sort of was in the background and did so much for the club, and without him, like half the things that went on would have never happened. I think there's always special people like that just make the place tick. I don't know what you guys think.
There's a couple actually. We had Stan as the kit man. The old boy was always kicking around the change room. He was brilliant. I think he's still going now. Never complained. Always turned up with a smile. And then I think for me it was a little bit different. Like moving up, we had Big Slice as in Blair McPherson, and then like Grant Anderson. Just like a couple of the old boys. It's easy for people to like be this new basically this English 18-year-old that's just probably pretty annoying and moved up to be pretty tough on him, but pretty active.
How's your felt?
I mean, you have no choice. But no, they were brilliant, tough, but they just sort of like took me under their wing a wee bit. Pete McCallum again, like all the old boys, they sort of moving up made it really easy for me to sort of integrate back into up here.
I had there's a few of the old boys at Jed, kind of Darren Gillespie, Ross Goody and that, and obviously my cousins and all that, but they would always look after me. They'd always be like, oh, make sure get the young lad gets looked after and that, because I was like the only one. A lot of my mates still played under 18s, but I moved up a year early, so I was kind of the only one. They were all a lot older, and then I was the youngest by quite a while, quite a lot. And then there was one night out where I think it was actually that night we won Jed Sevens, and they're like, "Oh, we'll get the rounds in." So they bought me a round. They all got me a couple of rounds, and then I was like, "Oh, it's your turn to get a round." And I was like, turned up to Jed Sevens. I only had £2 in my wallet. They give you a hard time, but it's always good.
That's part of it, though.
Yeah. I'd probably say Henry Edwards. So Edwards' old man. He was a legend at Alloa. Like obviously he coached Edinburgh forwards. He was interim head coach at Edinburgh for a while as well. So he was always he was probably the link between a small club like Alloa and like how far he could go in the game. And also he always gave back in terms of keeping the standards high at the club, making sure the coaches were doing the right things. And I don't know if you ever met Henry, but he says it straight. So all the way through my career, we'd be, whatever it be, out play for Stirling, play for Alloa, whatever. You could always rely on Henry to give you a brutally honest appraisal of your performance the next day. And as we got a bit older, we'd be like Fubar Saturday night after the county games, out for a few, stay the night at Edo's afterwards, go down in the morning. Judy's got a full fry up on how good, just sitting, recovering, and then H would be at the end of the table with a paper and be like, right, let's talk about your game yesterday, Gilco. What'd you think? Yeah, I thought I'd done alright. Losing the ball in contact, alright.
Yeah.
Well, you're an academy player, you think that's acceptable? And Judy's like, leave him alone. that was like him. He always could rely on him for the honesty, and like a world class coach. So for a small club like Alloa, made a big impact across the club. And then as one of my dad's mates, Rolfie Dolphy. But a name like Rolfie Dolphy, he's an absolute character, absolute idiot. Always used to have sparkly pants on, and at every function just be down to his pants.
Lastly, sort of what will it mean to you boys to be representing your clubs on Friday night?
For me, I mean everything. I think this is it's a great thing that we do at the club, and was lucky enough to play last year in the game and to wear the socks, but it's one of those things. Obviously, you play professionally, and it's obviously you love playing professionally, but one of the downsides is you don't get to play for your club. So to get the chance to show your appreciation for them is massive, I think. And it'll be class.
Yeah, I think it's great as well because it makes you think about why you love the game, and it's easy in professional rugby to get caught up in sort of the seriousness and everything of it, and then you think back to sort of the club roots and some of the stories or whatever memories we've spoken about today, and it's just nice to sort of think back to them and think about why you play the game and why you enjoy it so much, and it's the people at clubs that we've spoken about and the memories that we have there, and all the people that get involved in that make it. So
massively. Like I still get mum telling me, "Oh, I hate like your brothers watching the game with all your mates back from the club and stuff like that." It's class to hear like the boys supporting, and like for us to just be able to give back to them this like tiny bit and sort of show how much we appreciate them. It's sort of massive for me personally.
Yeah, I know how much it means to the people at the club that I really care about. Like they followed my career through my whole career and are always so invested in it, and to be able to show the people at Edinburgh Rugby Club what that club done for me, and in the sense of you wouldn't be here. Like I feel so fortunate to have had that kind of club behind me and gave me the opportunity to have a professional rugby career, play for Scotland, whatever it may be. It's stuff with dreams from a wee lad growing about in Alloa. So these people need to realise that they were a huge part of that.
You're gonna run it for Alloa with
Rolfie's
Ruben and
banter.
Fred.
Rolfie's Rolfie's
like you did with your old man. Are you gonna run it with the boys when you're